Hello, my name is Grant McLachlan. I'm the author of Sparrow, A Chronicle of Defiance. I've been recently going through my research and I've uncovered this footage which I recorded at the National Archives and Records Administration in College Park, Maryland. This footage is of liberated prisoners of war, mostly American, arriving at Yokohama Railway Station in near Tokyo, and it's near the docks of Yokohama, where the Americans occupying forces were demobbing and treating and assessing and interrogating liberated prisoners of war. Also, you'll see men loading onto trucks and travelling to Atsugi Air Field, where they're being loaded onto C-54 Dakotas en route to Yokohama. So I thought you might just have a check out this footage. I thought it would be interesting, considering Laura Hillenbrand's book Unbroken has been turned into a major motion picture directed by Angelina Jolie, and you can see the state of these prisoners of war when they first arrive in Yokohama. When these men did arrive, of course, on the 20th, it's shown here, these men had been supplied by airdrops since late August, so they've been receiving food for at least 20 days. Many of the men, as mentioned in Hillenbrand's book, they gouged themselves on chocolate and cocoa and anything that was supplied. They've also here arrived in uniforms, which were also dropped, so the men didn't arrive wearing rags. When they arrived at Yokohama Station, they were then taken by truck down to the port, where they were waiting hospital ships to inspect the men, and they were then they stayed probably a night or two. Oh, this is General Moore. General Moore was captured in Bataan and Corregidor, and here he is being greeted by the men. Him greeting the men at the port. So men showering down at the docks. And in this next reel, it shows the men arriving by Chevy down at Atsugi Air Field. Now, these men had to take a short train to Atsugi, which was only like a 5 or 10 minute trip, and they had to take a truck. And these are C-54 Dakotas. Now, the men were all shipped out using, this was the largest transport aircraft at the time, a Dakota, and they flew from there down to Okinawa. And from then they would fly by all sorts of aircraft, usually longer range aircraft such as B-29s and B-24s, which wasn't really a comfortable ride at all. But here are the men departing Japan at Atsugi Air Field. Here's another group arriving at Yokohama Railway Station. Beautiful railway station. A lot of it's still there today. Loading onto the trucks. This is a common sight between the 6th of September, which is one of the earliest arrivals of POWs at Yokohama Railway Station, shortly after the surrender was signed on the 2nd of September in Tokyo Bay, not far from the site. And here are the nurses organising the men onto the trucks. And there's the band that greets them. A lot of the men, when they arrived at the Yokohama Railway Station, they were given chocolate and coffee by the lady WAF. Here they are going down to the docks. Yep, there's General Moore again. Actually, that could be Wainwright, whose nickname was Skinny. No, I think that's General Moore. Oh yes, here they are at Atsugi again. Now this is the airfield where MacArthur first arrived. If you've seen the movie Emperor, when they were arriving by plane in Japan, that's the airfield where they all landed. And this is how they loaded onto the Dakotas. Just back the truck up. For many of these men, this is the first time they'd been in an aircraft, and the route that these men took flying down to Okinawa was often over the inland sea, which allowed them to fly over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So the men basically flew over city after city, city after destroyed city, including Nagoya, Osaka, and so forth. And that's the end of it. Hope you enjoyed it.